Welcome to the darkness.
Oh, we're back.
Hello.
Jesse's getting the vapors. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Hello, everybody. Here we are.
Mad
Welcome
Max
to the
was
show.
abducted, so he's somewhere in Utah. So yeah, poor guy.
Or in the
Yeah.
middle of a Taco Bell.
I know.
I think so.
Yeah. I'm trying to get the comments so they're not over your face there.
Oh, it's okay.
Lover. Yeah, you're like, no, it's okay, really. It's okay.
I'll move over.
That's right.
Okay, so our show tonight is on the Anunnaki. Did I say it right?
Anunnaki, I would say so.
Anunnaki.
Is that anything like hockey?
Not at all, but close.
I
Okay.
went to my very first hockey game. I'm sorry. I have to vent.
You
What
went to a
happened?
hockey game? When?
I went last night.
You did?
First time?
Nice.
Wow,
first time.
where? In
Wow.
Idaho Falls or
Isn't
Yes.
hockey awesome?
Go Spud Kings.
Right?
Dings. I'm gonna have to go.
Yeah.
I want to go now.
There was so
Yeah,
many
we had-
fights.
There were fights. Oh god, that's what I love about it.
That's what I like
Love
about
the
it.
fighting. Yeah.
Yeah.
We used to, my grandma was into anything where people were beating the snot out of each other. Like
Yeah.
we watched wrestling and boxing and all that stuff. My grandma was into it. And she did watch hockey, but not a lot. We weren't a huge sport. Anything like roller derby. Remember roller derby? When it was
Oh,
roller
man.
derby, and they would slingshot each other and just knock each other's teeth out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Them were the days.
We had
I-
season tickets for the Bakersfield Condors.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
Yeah,
I just
they
want
were
to
awesome.
say, I don't think I could ever see myself being a hockey player, even though my heart would be in it.
Mm-hmm.
But my butt is too close to the ground, so I'd be skating
that,
on the
and you
butt.
have all your teeth.
Well, I can't skate, so there's that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
My hockey puck. Wait,
I can't,
my
oh
hockey
yeah,
puck.
look at that. There you go.
Nice.
There you go.
So anyway,
Okay,
it was
so
great.
to the Anunnaki. In the earliest Sumerian writings about them, which came from, I guess it's called the Akkadian period,
Yeah.
they describe the Anunnaki as deities. And there's some Anunnaki that are described to be deities in heaven and some deities of the underworld. And so I know Doc's got a lot of information on this. And are they like how they became in control of man? And are they controlling us? Are they the puppet masters? I don't know. It's an interesting theory. We touched on it a little bit last week. And it's a little freaky to think about. We're not in control of ourselves, right? So
Yeah.
Yeah.
tiny bit freaky.
There are a lot of different theories on it. I mean, you have your actual writing that came off the clay tablet, and that has been translated. And then you have the I'm going to chop it all up. Mesopotamian
Own it. Own it.
myth.
Mesopotamia.
There you go, something like that. Mesopotamia people myths.
Potatoes.
And then you have your other myths that have come like after the 1900s, where the aliens exist, and they started finding DNA, and they started interpreting these things. But in our original, in the original text, the ones that they pulled off the clay pots or the clay,
Like the tablets?
tablet. There you go.
Mm.
There was a lot of it was a lot different. Again, like you had said, Colleen, they were deities. They never called them aliens. They didn't call them any type of different kind of human. They were gods back then.
Yeah.
They were not extraterrestrials, of course. And in the tablets, they didn't create the human beings. It was a lot different from their writing. In the theories, the modern theories, they were talking about that the Anunnaki had split DNA, added their DNA to human DNA, and that's why we were supposedly Anunnaki-like. They were supposedly 12 feet tall, but in the tablets, it doesn't really describe them. It just described them wearing a crown like a horn, but didn't really give a really descriptive anything on them. But
well, if you think about it, Doc, we've been finding, humans have been finding words are hard, really large skeletal figures, like, that are 12 feet 15 feet tall, all over the world. For as long as we've been around, we've been unearthing them. We find them in caves. We have found them in digging, burial mounds, all kinds of stuff. Just ginormous humanoid skeletons. So
and believe it or not, that is part of one of the myths as well. That the Anunnaki, one of the gods' offspring, fell in love with a human, had babies, and their offspring were giants. And one of their main descriptions was they're very evil, almost biblical-like in the descriptions. But they also described a giant flood that came and wiped them all out. Again, the giant flood wasn't to wipe them out. It was due to their planet coming into orbit near the Earth. And they had seen it coming, and they predicted the giant flood. Kind of different from the biblical version, but coincides with it. Kind of the same. The Anunnaki that were written in the Sumerian texts were deities, of course, but they were considered that what the deity that they described them, or that they had called them in that time in the Sumerian text, was called Sky God. Their offspring were called princely offspring.
Yeah.
They didn't consider them human. They considered them gods.
Yes.
Again, decrees of the fate of humanity from what it was written. The names of a few of the Anunnaki that were there was, and again, I'm going to chop it up, Enlil, Enki, or Ea. I don't know how you pronounce that. Ninhursag, which I'm sure I'm chopping it up.
That's Kai. That's Kai, the Earth goddess. Yeah.
Kai.
She was,
then
yep.
Inanna.
Yep. The moon god.
Yeah.
Ishtar.
Or no, Inanna was the goddess of fertility.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ishtar.
There was, yep. Ishtar. Yep.
And Sin.
Yep. So there's a lot of dispute over how many offspring there were, right? So I've read when I was doing some reading on this subject that there was anywhere from 7 to 600. Like there could literally be 600 of them out there that then they were reproducing, and that's why we would have all of these skeletons that they've been finding. But because some of them were here on Earth, some of them were in heaven, some of them were in the underworld. So
yeah,
they're kind of all over the place. And I don't know what I've read is that there was like a rift in the family where half of them were pulled up to heaven and half of them were pulled down to the underworld.
In the more modern myths, from what they were talking, is their Earth or their planet was dying, that they needed to mine gold and air or water off of the Earth planet. And the god of Nibiru sent his son Inky down in order to be the god over Earth. He brought down a worker race with them, according to the myths, the Ijiji, which were almost like the Anunnaki, but they were also considered gods in the Sumerian texts as well. But they were lesser gods than the Anunnaki. They were brought down here as a working force to do the labor. In the myths, what ended up happening was more of a revolt from the Ijiji. When they revolted, the Anunnaki supposedly created human beings to take over and work their gold and work their purpose here on Earth. And the Ijiji, in another theory, ended up going underground. This is where the reptilian race is supposedly, and the underground gods and whatnot, because technically they were still considered gods from the Sumerian texts. But after they revolted, they all left. They used their working tools to fight and ended up going. They couldn't leave the planet. So they're still here somewhere.
Well, we do have a whole lot of people out there that do believe that we have lizard people walking among us, right? And I know, Jesse, this is one of your favoriteest topics is the lizard people.
I may be one.
And I know we've brought this up before, but it's fascinating.
You know, what it reminds me of is when he's talking about the history and everything, it reminds me of the Egyptians back in the day with the pharaohs and everything and what they believed. It makes me wonder if some of the glyphs that they had were talking about this race of Anunnakis, and maybe they are part of these children from them. Like, because if you really think about it and look at all the, because I took ancient Egyptology. Let me talk. Blah, blah, blah. It's the snow. It's the snow, and
I know we haven't seen it for so long.
And I got the vapors, and anyway, but I mean, when we look at the ancient, the drawings and everything, and how they have such a big head, you know, and
they were tall. They were portrayed very tall. Yeah.
Yeah. And then they talk about these different gods and goddesses, and where Doc was talking about how they have the underworld, and they talk about
they had the elongated heads, which they find now.
Yeah.
Yes.
In Peru and in Egypt.
Yeah. Those skeletons are found with elongated heads.
Yeah.
Well, go ahead, Jess.
Oh no, I'm done. I was just thinking that's what it reminded me of. And then it reminds me of, we talk about hidden people and who are actual, you know, from this tribe or what have you. This also reminds me of the basis of a popular movie that we see, which is the Avatar movie, if you really think about it. You know, it's kind of weird how all the blended stuff, and these people were tall. They believed in everything that Doc is describing. So it's kind of weird how it's kind of transformed today's society. So
there is a historian who did write that, I mean, his interpretation, and it's his interpretation because there's other historians that are like poo-pooing this all over the place. But his interpretation of some of these ancient texts are that the Anunnaki built the temple, the pyramids.
Yeah.
In Egypt. Again, there's other historians that poo-poo it, but look, when you don't have a complete record, everything is a theory.
Yeah.
Everything is a theory. Exactly. None of it can be really proven. We do have skeletons, though. So
They
Mhm.
they are finding the skeletons, the 15 feet high skeletons, the skeletons with the elongated heads. There's another theory that the Anunnaki are still among us, shapeshifters hiding, and they still have the human race working for them, under control, but more as the elites on this planet who
Yes.
control the world, still gather all the riches, still gather all the resources, and are working for the Anunnaki for, I guess, the power and the riches and everything that they're allowed. This is a recent theory that has come out, and
so are they the Illuminati?
that's what they're saying. That's what they're saying. Again, the Illuminati or the elite of this planet are still human beings, or they're hybrids from the Anunnaki and human, set to control the population. In theory,
Interesting.
of course.
We talked about this a little last week. The whole idea that there's something in control of us and that we're not in control of our own fate, or that we're just this giant experiment like ants.
Yeah.
You know, and I remember my brother had an ant farm and then he broke it in the house. Oh God, my mom was mad. But anyway, thinking of us like as an ant farm in the class, it's freaky to me and I don't like it at all. I don't like it at all. Yeah.
I mean, looking at it, I mean, if we as human beings today were to read the clay tablets and say we were to interpret them with today's technology, with today's theories of what we believe is going on, I could actually see some of these theories, how they believe it. I mean, at the end of the day, in the Sumerian text, they said they created human beings from essence and clay. Would that be because they didn't have the words to say DNA and DNA splicing, or to describe any type of laboratory or any type of high-tech equipment?
Yeah, I don't know. That's interesting. I hadn't heard that essence and clay theory. That's kind of fascinating.
Yeah. It's interesting. So we're not from apes.
I don't think
met
we'll
some people
ever know.
that you could probably.
Well, it's interesting, you know. Like it's like you know, for those of watching our show, you know, it's like you have to really think about it. Like, where did we really? Are we sure we really evolved? Like, where exactly was where did we come from? Those are deep thoughts that I have at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you're religious, you believe that it was creation, right? But if you're not a religious person, and then you sit there going, okay, was it apes, or did we come up from some amoeba? I mean, what happened? Like, what happened?
We were a jelly amoeba.
But then where'd that come from?
I pulled out some information on a side-by-side comparison with the Genesis theory of the biblical story, with the Anunnaki and Mesopotamian myths, and in side-by-side comparison, there's a lot there. I mean, the Anunnaki were under Enlil and Enki and Marduk, of course. In Genesis, we're under Yahweh, Elohim, which is other words for God. The reasons why they created human beings are a little bit different. The Anunnaki, to relieve the gods of their labor, of their burdens, and of course, that in Genesis, it is to bear God's image and resemble Him as a steward of creation. But the Anunnaki and the Mesopotamian myths, the status of human beings, in Genesis, of course, we're the image and bearers and rulers over the earth. And then in the Anunnaki, we were servants and the labor force. Relation to deities. In the Anunnaki, we were fearful. They were utilitarian. They were bossy. And in the biblical sense, it was more personal, moral. And
I'm waiting for Josh to go say other things.
Bossy. Where is that
utilitarian? Wouldn't that be a boss?
No. Utilitarian? That's not bossy.
It's a utility.
This is like having mad skills, man. It's like being able to do a lot of stuff. Right?
So that would be as the human race being bossed around to do their work.
Okay, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I can see that then. Okay.
Yeah. And then, and of course, the divine conflict, the rebellion, labor disputes with the Anunnaki, and also the Igigi that rebelled against them, and then the divine conflict through Genesis and the Bible is the moral disobedience. There are some similarities, a lot of differences, but in all in all, they both describe kind of the same patterns and the same timeline. Well, not exact timelines, but
yeah,
we got the flood narrative in the Anunnaki and the Mesopotamian myths. The gods regret making human beings because of the noise, because of their rebellion. And Enlil wants destruction. And of course, in Genesis, God grieves human wickedness and destroys them. One actually does it. The other one wants it, though it was done by their planet's rotation through our solar system. From what they say, the Anunnaki's planet is still within our planet's rotation. From what they were saying, it was a 300 and some odd thousand year rotation.
Interesting.
So maybe that's why we're getting a lot of like sightings now. Maybe it's to the point that they're coming to visit.
Okay, so before the show started, Jesse and Doc, you guys were talking about Hollywood.
Yes.
And the tie. Well, there's certain things we can't talk about, but the Hollywood thing with the Anunnaki. What were you talking about, Jess?
Yeah, so there's been a lot of like how different I am not Hollywood elites, and also some of our government elites, and how we talk about control, right? So we have to really think about what Doc was saying was like, we're all just, and we all have said that we're just like this ant farm, right?
Yeah.
And all these people who sit up on the top, like the queen bee or queen ant or whatever you want to call them. And there has been conspiracies of some people.
Are they conspiracies?
Which including
wait, are they conspiracies really?
I don't know. Like there's been like some handful of videos and pictures of certain Hollywood elites and other government elites that
not saying Jim Carrey.
You can see them. I
will not say Jim Carrey though.
That have
no names.
Like you can see their eyes change like within an instant. You can see their facial
like the
features change.
Third eye lid and all that.
Yeah. It's when I was searching, I was like, really? And so now when I watch things, it's like, oh my God. Like you kind of wonder, like some of them are so young, right? Or what about the side by side pictures of certain actors who lived a long time, right?
Oh yeah.
And they looked the same. Now we talked about vampirism and stuff like that. But what if they really are this hybrid alien forms? And they're just here to keep watch and control of the lower level worker ants, right?
I mean,
So,
you're not very far from it, even with Hollywood today. I mean, take away all the conspiracies. And if you were to look at the actors, what are they doing to the human population? They're keeping us entertained.
Yep.
They're keeping us sitting in front of a box, giving them all our money, giving them all of our respect, and listening to what they say.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, when we think about like Hollywood movies and stuff, and like the how all of these movies are starting to, like we just mentioned Avatar, right? So is that really these elites saying, you know, this is really us and we're finally now going to start telling our story? A lot of people say it's because the government has started coming out with, oh yeah, by the way, we've seen these UFOs or unidentified or, you know, objects in the sky. So now we're going to start if you guys really pay attention to it, there's more video or more movies, more TV shows about aliens coming out. More.
Is it a desensitization of the population for when they do come out and they do start coming, so that we're not in shock?
See, I think the more they talk about this stuff, the more they're trying to deflect from something else going on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like what's really going on? Because it's you know, yeah.
Well, you think about like the show or the movie Men in Black. We just talked to people, right? And then the X-Files. Think about when the X-Files came out. Some of the theorists say that when the X-Files came out, that's when we started seeing an uptick of UFOs being reported. And then it was quiet. And then now...
So do you think maybe it's a human mind playing tricks on people, thinking that's what it could be?
I don't think so. I think it's just a way of people to say, like, here we are again. And Colleen's right, you know, I think it's a way for us to desensitize us humans or lower level working ants. You know, it just depends, I guess. There's a lot of theories. Some people say the government is definitely run by the higher anarchy, or
by
not
the
anarchy,
elite.
By the elite. Yeah.
And I truly, when you say the government is ran, and I don't believe it's ran by the actual president or the cabinet, I think it's something above that as well.
Well, I mean, you got to think too, like not picking on, you know, monarchs as well. I'm not going to say any particular monarch, but
they got arrested recently.
Yeah.
You mean that one?
Allegedly.
No, he didn't allegedly get arrested.
No. Allegedly, we're talking, you know, something's happening. But what I'm saying.
Do you remember the papers again?
Wait. Before we keep going, this is just for the public and anybody who may be watching. This is all made up, and I'm not really believing any of this. And I don't have any type of documentation for nothing.
I'm not even here.
Off the top of my head. As a matter of fact, I didn't take my psych meds today, and I'm feeling kind of ill. So
me neither. They're right here.
Right. I'm on a 24-hour pass. So
yeah.
But I mean, there are a lot of people that believe, you know, and if you guys look at and Google and watch some YouTube, you could clearly see some of these people and how it's freaky. It's freaky.
Well,
and
we brought it up before, right? Just that guy that detonated that camper down, that was in Nashville.
Yeah.
And he happened to do it during the time of like early morning when no one was around. So he just kind of blew himself up. But he did that to bring attention to the fact that we had lizard people among us.
Yeah. Yeah.
I watched the whole like interview with his. She didn't call herself his girlfriend, but he called her his girlfriend. It was a friend of his who was like, he was going
friend zoned. He just didn't know.
He was just going nuttier and nuttier and nuttier about this whole lizard thing, and she's just couldn't buy into it. But what he was writing, like she had some of his writings and his journals, and what he was saying kind of made sense in a weird way. You're like, maybe there are lizard people.
I don't know. What about the big
if you think about it, looking at it from a paranormal perspective, and each of us can actually grab this stance. I mean, try to explain to a psychiatrist what we do on investigations.
Oh, I know. Right.
Imagine how he would feel. If he actually seen lizard people. I mean, he's trying to explain to the non-believing world what he truly believes in his heart. Because yep. What's up, fam? I mean, look at exactly what we do in our investigations, and we go out there and we talk to spirits and dead Uncle Fred, and would they believe us? Would they put us in medication? Would they give us a nice coat with the arms in the back?
We've talked a lot about that. The theory of like, is it mediumship or is it schizophrenia? Like, there's such a fine line between a lot of this stuff.
Again, I'm on a 24-hour pass.
Yeah, we know, Jess. We know. We signed you out. But what? I mean, I know we're going off the rails here, but it's very. You got this guy thinking that there's lizard people to the point where he's going to he detonates himself in order to make it a point to draw attention to it because nobody was listening to him. We have these ginormous skeletal remains found all over the place. We have, there's just makes you go, what's really going on here?
Yeah.
There's another theory as well, as far as the Anunnaki and the lizard people and the elites and even aliens. There is a biblical theory that demons are roaming the earth and they are mimicking aliens, they are mimicking the elites, and they mimic humans and whatnot in order to fool us. I mean, there are theories in every corner.
I was actually reading a post today on Facebook from a woman who said, "Do you see the demons among us?" I mean, she absolutely was. This was not a joke. She was making a very serious post. She goes, it's almost like I can see through the veil and I'm looking at them at this point. Now, I don't know if she was making a political statement or just a statement in general, like what's going on with humanity, but she was really serious. And sometimes when you look at somebody, you're going, there's something there that just doesn't
superimposed on their faces, and
there's something there that doesn't seem right. Like they're moving glitchy, that there's something wrong, and you make you go, I'm leaving this area right now. Like I'm not going to be here with this thing, whatever it is. And when she said that on this post in this group, I went, oh wow.
Yeah,
I didn't get into the discussion because I didn't have time, but I thought it was.
I would like to reach out to that person. That would be a very interesting conversation.
I don't know if she was coming at it politically, from a religion standpoint.
Or a literal
I have no idea, but she was very, very serious, and it brought back some memories of people that I've seen that I'm like,
yeah.
The glitchiness is weird to me. What is the glitch? Because you can see them and they're moving abnormally.
Yeah, no, that's what they talk about.
I've got a paranormal background where I used to see the exact same thing. That's why I'm like, I kind of would like to talk to her and see where she's at.
Moving glitchy. The huck used to be pop and lock back in the day. Yeah, there you go.
I told you.
Hey, Max, we missed you.
Get over
Yeah,
here. What are you
Join
doing?
the show, man.
I know. You can
Yeah.
comment. You can log on.
I know you can log in. What's going on? Oh, busted.
Should I share a picture?
Busted.
I was kidding.
So I don't know. What do you think? So there is this, from what I've been reading about this, if part of them were cast down to be, and what they call them in the underworld, they don't specifically call them demons, but they were in control of the underworld, and they were sitting in judgment of everybody who came through the underworld. They were sitting in judgment. Okay, and there was a lot of them. So are they what people like this woman in the post today that I read? Is that what she's seeing? Is she seeing this weird glitchy thing and seeing a face behind a face?
I believe her.
Have you ever seen that, Jess?
I have.
Yeah.
I have. There's just something about somebody that, or something that doesn't feel or look right. Like we have
Like you're
all
talking to two
come
people.
across. Yeah, we
So
have all come across
feel the
somebody like
two
that.
people when you're talking to them, and
I trust
the other
my
one
animals.
transposes.
I trust the instinct of these guys. And if they don't warm up to you when you walk into my house, you know what I'm saying, or on my property.
Yeah.
I've had a few people that have come out here because I've had a lot of contractors and stuff. And he just came in. Let's get him on the stage. Hold on.
We're not talking about him. Calm down.
What's up, SA?
Oh,
he left.
Oh, there he is. But I've had a few people that have walked onto the property that my animals instinctively shied away from.
Yeah.
And that bothers me.
What's up, SA?
Yeah.
What's up? My lover said too. Yeah. Good girl. Yeah. So
now she's giving that look.
I can give a little story. Again, when in my youth, being able to see into the other side of the veil, and a lot was not pretty and not dead Uncle Fred, where it appeared to be gruesome and demon like. I remember on dates where I was dating not so virtuous women, and in all honesty, seeing that transpose of, lack of better terms, an Egyptian face transposed onto her, kind of ruined the mood. It gave a whole new meaning to two-faced, but it was, it usually was a big red flag for me to call it quits.
I don't know. I feel like when you talk, Colleen, you talk about how she, sees all these beings, these demons, and everywhere. I know we touched a little bit about this, but we talk about like how the elite and the Hollywood control things, but we also got to think about some religious aspects. I'm not going to call out different entities or anything like that, but we also have to think of how they control things. Again, there's that sense of control with certain religious communities that deem certain beings as evil, right? What if they're not? What if they're it's just control? I believe it's control. It's control in every aspect. That's just me. What do you think?
It's funny. If you show control that way, I mean, it falls down between, because I was listening while I was driving in, and I did some research too. But this just seems like we talked about last week, like we're a science experiment. Mm-hmm. That's what we are. We were made from clay and spit or whatever, or they bred with us, and you know, the giants. Heck, there's giants down here in Utah that they found. So I think, like I said, I still think we're an 8th grade science project, you know, and a lifetime to us is a 30-minute gym class to them, you know. And I think that is kind of interesting, especially when you talk about the control. You talked about the elite, the same thing. You know, what if it is just that's the way it is, and none of this, you know, is even, and we're still going to be run by whoever, you know. It's just,
that's just
I
the
think
way
it's
it is.
interesting stuff.
Some things will never change.
Yep.
What about the theory of the elite keeping our third eye closed, keeping us not being able to get to our full potential, not being able to manifest, not being able to see through the other side of the veil? Is it that's all control?
Yeah, but
putting poison,
there's a lot of us
supposedly putting
that can.
Yeah.
A lot of us that can what?
See through the veil.
Yeah, but
Exactly.
Who have their these abilities.
We are the minority.
Well, I think everybody has it. They just haven't. Either it scares them, so they don't recognize it, or you know, sorry,
they have been scared to believe and keep it shut down.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you know, you were talking about back in the day, asylums, you know, and you were talking about the aspect of, were those people crazy, or did they actually have, geez Louise, that cat.
She's out of control.
Maybe she has something to say. Maybe she is an alien.
She's exhausted.
And yes, she probably is. Cats are evil and they're aliens.
No,
cats are protectors of the underworld.
Thank you.
Otis, did you hear that?
Exactly. But you know, this kind of, you know, it kind of opens a lot of stuff up. You know, I mean,
it
you talk about they're only going to let us get to our potential. That's what every one of my grade school report card says. Max is not working up to his potential. Is that what that meant?
Yeah. You know it. I don't know. I think, you know, he's like a bad penny. Anyway, I think
bad pennies. There's no such thing as bad pennies.
She's somebody.
He's given her 2 cents.
So I bought a book from he's an author that we all know of who does a lot of the missing stuff. And I bought his book on a book of every newspaper article dedicated to finding either like a Bigfoot, like reports, sightings of Bigfoot, or finding these large skeletons all over the world. Yeah. And it's really, really interesting when you go through it because he laid it out chronologically. And it's really fascinating to read these accounts because they're just newspaper accounts that he printed and compiled into this book. And it's really fascinating. Like you said, I think Max, she said, we found them there in Utah. There were found several of these things, and all over the world, these burial mounds. I think they just unearthed, when I was at Phenomenon last year, they were talking about, I wish I could remember exactly where they were. They were just recognized burial mounds in the last, I want to say, decade. And when they opened, they didn't recognize them as burial mounds because they were so large. And they were so large because the body was so large, and it would be like one body. It was pretty interesting.
What about the really tall people?
Well, isn't that what we're talking about, though?
I mean, if you think about the Anunnaki, you know, you said they were like 12 feet tall, 15 feet tall, whatever. You know, and if you, I mean, we have people that are still alive that are 13 feet tall, 8 feet
Absolutely.
tall, 10 feet tall, I mean, 6 feet tall is kind of at the top of the average for most guys, and about what,
When
five?
when you think
Go
about
ahead.
all these giants and everything that they find, why don't they release the DNA? I mean, why don't they release all this information? Is it to keep us in the dark? Is it to continue the
I don't
secret?
think the DNA, I don't think they have it. So we were talking about that not too long ago, that allegedly there's DNA with these Bigfoot human, or they got DNA from Bigfoot, and the DNA shows that they are this alien species and human, that this is a cross, an unknown DNA, in other words, and humans. But in order to see the DNA results, you have to pay to see them. If this was true, in my opinion, if this was really true, it would be blasted to every scientific journal out there. It would be peer reviewed by other geneticists who could then take the strands and look at them and say, yep, absolutely. So that's why I don't buy it. I don't buy it.
Yeah.
You don't have to, yeah.
Unless they don't want us to know.
They don't.
Yeah, unless they're shutting it down. Not that the government has ever done that before.
Oh no, never.
Or labeled anybody insane in order to keep it hidden.
Well, and I think that you're absolutely correct, because back in the day we were easier to herd, right? We were easier to herd, and now with everything that I mean, think about this.
Right.
Is everybody has it, and there's people that don't listen. I think this is a new place to come.
Yeah,
I agree 100%, Max. Look at this, though. I mean, what better way would the government be able to shut people up is if they just let everybody talk and to say what they want and to go online and talk about their theories and talk about this and talk about that and let everybody hear everybody's theory and everybody's thoughts on it. It's all going to be noise at the end of the day. I mean, we could be talking all truth, and they change our timeline, and they change what's being shown on social media. They change what's being shown on YouTube, and they bury it. I mean, or they put other kooky stuff right next to it. I mean,
yeah.
Well, at the end of the day,
or they redirect.
They
redirect to something. We come up with something that everybody's like, man, I knew, and then all of a sudden, holy cow, there's a new hamburger out, and everybody's got to go check it out. That whole redirect that they do, is, well, it's a food thing, so but
or a war thing.
It's a redirection, and they'll make there's stuff going on right now that they've redirected. We all know that.
Oh yeah.
So I think it's interesting.
Yeah.
And
well,
we're never
if we talk about sorry. No. I'm so sorry.
Are you
again?
Flash?
No. So I mean, it's weird that we talk about this, and I don't want to go off on a tangent on it, and we talk about the control. But what if these beings also have the cure for some diseases, and that's how they control us as well? Like,
maybe,
I mean, what if they had a cure for, I would love to see a cure for cancer, but what if
I believe they just let them out in 3 different countries, 4 different countries. They just announced that in Russia and a couple other ones.
What?
Right afterward.
They announced
of course,
what?
You don't hear that in the United States, but
what did we announce?
What did they announce, Don?
That the cure for cancer has been announced, in Russia and a couple of other states or countries. I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, in my mind, we have it. We already have it.
We've had it. Yeah.
And it's sitting in my tack room. It's sitting in my tack room, and I give it to my horses.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we've had it. And yeah, we've had it this whole time, and they didn't want us to know it.
Yeah.
So, but
Exactly.
By the way, that paste tastes horrible too.
It does, but it works really well. So,
is this glue?
Okay, so we were just talking about. Okay, Jess, you brought up what if they gave us diseases, but what if they're actually? I don't know. Would they want the worker bees to be ill? Why would they do that? If we're the worker bees,
because we're
they
test
don't want
subjects.
older worker bees. Older worker bees can't work.
Well, that's true. My body's broken. Yeah. No, I get that.
How many of us get up and be really productive like a 20, 25, 30-year-old? Why do they want us to live very long? They don't. I mean, it's not going to benefit them. Not only are we taking up a lot of the resources here on the planet that can go for the younger workers, it just doesn't benefit them at all.
You know, it's unfortunate that I think that's correct. I think our generation is the last generation that's willing to do stuff. So if that's the way they've created it, unfortunately, the next generation coming up, and I'm not going to say all, because there's, believe it or not, there's lazy people in our generation too. But I mean, I'm one.
I feel attacked, bro.
But the other side of that is, we are the worker bees. We're the drones. How, they only let drones know so much.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And think about it. Some worker bees or some termites or some insects that are colonized like that, they're deaf and blind. They just work. That's all they do.
That's what I felt like the last 20 years.
Yeah.
You 20.
I'm just working.
Well, I know, but hardcore 20. I mean,
aren't we all indoctrinated to do that though?
Exactly.
We're all indoctrinated as youth, as starting at 5 years old. We're all told to go sit in the classroom and sit still and listen until we're so old. We're expected to get out of there and go to work and sit there for another 20 years. And hopefully we die off by then so that they can replace us.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right. And it's a merry-go-round, know. Somebody falls out. It's like the slaves on those big boats back in the day. You're rowing, the guy next to you dies, they just throw him overboard and put another guy in.
Yeah.
So I think we all, I mean, my own personal thought is we all have an out date. Whether whatever your thought process is, mine is that we all have an out date. And when it's that time, it's that time. So, and maybe we've skirted it once or twice, because I know that some of the stuff that I've done, is just like, holy cow. But we're drones. They're only going to let us know so much. And even the people that we think know a lot, that's as much as they're going to let us know or let them know.
Yeah.
So,
I
don't even know.
It's interesting.
Or,
you don't even know.
Or we disappear and they put in a clone. Another theory, by the way.
Yes.
Not to bring up Jim Carrey again, but another theory.
You guys were talking about that earlier.
Yeah.
We have things that have evolved into our life. How many TV shows have there been where there's an alien here or a race of aliens that have integrated with us? And that's how they get us to think that, that's the norm.
Yeah.
That's the norm. Oh, you're kidding? Yeah. That's he's from Uranus, and but he's cool. I mean, that's just the way it is.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry, did you just speak my language?
Indoctrination at its finest.
Oh my gosh.
Wow. What did I just say?
The whole thought that we're just worker bees is just, it really ticks me off. You know what I'm saying? It really ticks me off. But how? Yeah.
Yeah, but how do you know you're a worker bee? You're just living life, doing your thing.
Yeah.
You know,
paying your taxes to the elite.
To the elites, that's right.
Yep.
Paying all your taxes.
Paying all your taxes to the elite. I looked
at every turn.
Yeah.
You're a worker bee.
Yeah.
You're a worker bee.
50 years this year I've been working. 50 years. I'm tired.
Right?
Yeah.
And do the elites even give us a gold watch?
No. No, they'll give you a pin.
I won't even
Sign
get
your
that
life
on the way
away.
out the door from where I work. It'll be just like a boot in the butt. Get out of here. We're replacing you already. You know what I'm saying?
I'll get a pin or I'll get a cup.
Yeah. Well, give me a full bottle of whiskey, maybe. I don't. Yeah. It's a little bit of a depressing thought, but the fact that what sold me on this was the fact that we have the skeletal remains. I would just like to be able to see them. I've heard that the Smithsonian has several of them, and they won't let them out of the basement, so to speak. That they have the like the giant Bigfoot thing that was over in Afghanistan. Or Kandahar giant, the Kandahar giant.
The Kandahar giants.
Yeah, that was flown away.
Elongated heads from Peru.
I would really like show it to us. Yeah. So that we can then deal with it. Instead, for me, it's always the anticipation of stuff that makes it worse. The reality isn't usually as bad as my anticipation and what I had. So just show me the and then let me process it. I'd be okay with that. I don't know.
So not to change the subject, but I really want to get something in before the show's over, and it's totally off. I know I don't like talking, but this is important to me.
Please do.
Did you know that Scooby-Doo is supposed to be annunaki? And that's why he can talk?
What? Scooby-Doo?
Scooby-Doo is supposed to be Anunnaki?
Yes.
So what the hell is Shaggy?
Wait.
I don't know.
As a
Shaggy is just a stoner. Wait a minute.
Shaggy's a stoner. I did not know that.
Yeah.
What? He was lit on every cartoon, man.
Scooby-Doo?
No,
yeah,
Shaggy.
I mean,
yeah, but Scooby-Doo is supposed to be a descendant of the Anunnaki.
Anunnaki?
Really?
Okay.
Yes, and I had to get that in.
That makes the whole discussion worthwhile right there.
There you go. I would have never guessed that.
That is amazing.
You know what though? It does make sense at the end because in every single episode, the monsters were humans.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Every single one, and they didn't know it every time. It always surprised them. It's like what? After like 3 cartoons, you're going. It's
I was
that
gonna
guy.
say you'd figure it out, but they were stoned though. I mean.
So what you're saying is.
Okay.
So what you're saying is I am a Scrappy-Doo amongst the whole bunch of Scooby-Doos because everybody's taller than me.
Yeah. Okay. On that topic, real quick, the last 2 minutes. Everybody, what was your favorite cartoon? Mad Max.
Scooby-Doo.
Scooby-Doo. Doc.
Fred Flintstone.
Oh, Mud Lover.
Gosh, I'm gonna go Scooby-Doo because I would always watch Scooby-Doo.
Okay, Jess.
Rocky and Bullwinkle.
Yeah.
I love Rocky and Bullwinkle. Yeah,
I loved Morticia and Is it
Morticia and Natasha?
I was gonna say you kind of look like her, Jackie.
And Boris.
And Boris. Yeah, I love that. I love it was the Roadrunner for me. I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved the Acme products that he was always buying. Awesome. It was the best. All right, everybody. Thank you for joining the show tonight. We're going to be back next week with another fascinating topic. Until then, we're signing off. Bye.
Yeah. Bye, guys.
Have a good evening.